This video did not exist in your timeline until you directed your focused attention toward it. Out of millions of choices, your consciousness collapsed the wave of probability to bring you exactly to this moment. Have you ever experienced a coincidence so incredibly specific, so bizarrely timed, that it sent a shiver down your spine? A moment that made you question the very fabric of the world around you? Society tells you to brush these off as random chance. But what if I told you that these events are not random at all? Today, we are going deep into the true nature of the quantum field and the observer effect. I promise you, by the end of this transmission, you will no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstance, but as the supreme architect of your own existence. Tell me, have you ever felt that reality was glitching, just for a second, right in front of your eyes? To understand what is truly happening to you, we must first look at the invisible architecture of our universe. In the realm of esoteric quantum psychology, the quantum field is not just a scientific concept, it is the infinite ocean of pure potential, a living web of consciousness where every possible version of reality exists simultaneously as a wave of probability. In this field, everything you have ever desired and every choice you could ever make is already happening right now. But these possibilities remain formless, drifting in the void, until one crucial element enters the equation. That element is the observer. Observation is not a passive act of just looking at things. Observation is an intensely active, creative force. When you direct your focus, your beliefs, and your emotions toward a specific potential, you force that wave to collapse into solid, physical matter. You literally anchor a timeline into existence. Let us begin by tearing down the illusion of the solid world you think you live in. Look around you right now. The walls, the furniture, the device you are listening to. Your brain insists that this reality is fixed, heavy, and unchangeable. It tells you that time flows in a strict, straight line from yesterday to tomorrow. But this is the grandest illusion ever constructed by the human mind. The truth, hidden within the depths of the quantum field, is that your reality is flickering in and out of existence billions of times per second. It is a fluid, dynamic projection of your own internal state. You are entirely surrounded by parallel realities, infinite variations of your life playing out side by side. Normally, the boundaries between these timelines are kept strictly separate by the dense vibration of your habitual thoughts. You expect the world to be normal, and so the universe delivers normal. But when your consciousness begins to expand, when your vibration shifts even slightly, those rigid boundaries begin to thin out. This brings us to the phenomenon you call a coincidence. You think of a person you have not spoken to in 10 years, and suddenly your phone rings, and it is them. You desperately need an answer to a problem, and a stranger on the street loudly speaks the exact words you needed to hear. You write off these moments as strange luck. But I need you to realize that luck has absolutely nothing to do with it. What you have just experienced is a quantum stitch. A quantum stitch occurs when your current timeline and a parallel timeline temporarily intersect and merge. For a brief, shimmering moment, the fabric of two different realities gets sewn together by the thread of your own heightened awareness. The coincidence is simply the physical evidence that a merger has just taken place. It is a bleed-through from a dimension where that connection or that answer was already the established norm. How exactly does this stitching happen? It all comes back to the observer effect. Your mind is a highly advanced tuning fork. Every thought you think emits a specific electrical frequency, and every emotion you feel emits a powerful magnetic pull. Together, they create an electromagnetic signature that broadcasts out into the quantum field. Most people broadcast a chaotic, conflicting signal. They want abundance, but feel poor. They want love, but feel lonely. This static noise keeps them locked in a stagnant reality. But there are moments, sometimes spontaneous, sometimes intentional, where your thoughts and emotions align perfectly into a laser beam of pure focus. In that exact fraction of a second, your energetic signature matches the frequency of a parallel reality perfectly. The universe responds instantly to this resonance, pulling a piece of that alternate timeline right into your current physical space. Have you ever experienced a powerful wave of deja vu? That sudden, overwhelming sensation that you have lived this exact moment before, down to the smallest detail. Traditional science attempts to explain this away as a simple misfire of the brain, a delay in memory processing. But from the perspective of quantum metaphysics, deja vu is one of the most profound indicators of a quantum stitch. When you feel that intense familiarity, it is because you are temporarily aligning with a parallel version of yourself who has already walked this path. Your consciousness is expanding beyond the confines of your single physical body and tapping into the collective memory of your multidimensional self. It is a clear, undeniable signal from your higher awareness that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. It means your current trajectory has successfully locked onto a higher probability wave. Let us talk about the specific role of emotional resonance in this process. Thoughts alone are not enough to collapse a new reality. Thoughts are simply the steering wheel, but emotions are the engine. The quantum field does not understand English, Spanish, or any human language. It only understands the language of vibration. When you experience a profound state of joy, gratitude, or even a sudden burst of intense realization, you create an electromagnetic spike. This spike is what punches a hole through the veil separating parallel realities. It creates a vacuum, and the universe abhors a vacuum. To fill that space, the universe rushes in to deliver an experience, a person, or an object that perfectly matches the emotion you just generated. This is why those weird coincidences often happen right after you have finally let go of deep stress, or right after you have experienced a moment of sudden, unexplainable inner peace. Consider the concept of random encounters. You decide at the last minute to take a different route to work, or you walk into a coffee shop you normally avoid. There, you bump into someone who offers you an opportunity that changes the entire trajectory of your life. This was not a random accident. This was a synchronized collision of two observer fields. Both you and that other person were broadcasting complementary frequencies into the quantum web. Your higher selves orchestrated a quantum stitch, altering your impulses and guiding your physical bodies to that exact coordinate in space and time. You felt the sudden urge to turn left instead of right because the parallel reality where you meet this person was pulling on you like a magnet. The coincidence was engineered long before you ever ordered your coffee. But what if I tell you that the multiverse is not out there in deep space, but entirely contained within your own mind? Every time you face a choice, no matter how small, reality bifurcates. Reality splits. If you choose to wake up early and meditate, a timeline is born. If you choose to sleep in and feel guilty, another timeline is born. You are constantly jumping between these infinite tracks without even noticing. A quantum stitch often happens when you make a choice that deviates radically from your usual programming. When you break your own predictable patterns, you shock the matrix of your reality. By reacting with love instead of anger, or by taking a bold risk instead of playing it safe, you force your consciousness to leap across the void into a totally different stream of events. The immediate aftermath of this leap is usually marked by highly unusual synchronicities. Why does the universe communicate with you through symbols, repeating numbers, and obscure signs? You see the numbers 1111 on the clock, or you keep seeing a specific animal or hearing a particular song everywhere you go. This is the quantum field providing you with a feedback loop. Because the higher dimensions exist outside of linear language, they must use the geometry and symbolism of this world to get your attention. These repeating signs are the physical stitches binding your new reality together. They are breadcrumbs left by your higher self, confirming that the manifestation process is working. When you notice these signs, the worst thing you can do is ignore them. Recognizing the sign is an act of observation itself, which further strengthens the connection to the new parallel timeline. Attention is the currency of the universe. Sometimes, a quantum stitch is so abrupt that it literally alters physical matter in a way that defies logic. You experience what many call a glitch in the matrix. You place your keys on the table, you turn around, and they are gone. You search the entire house for an hour, only to find them sitting exactly where you left them in the first place. You think you are losing your mind, but you are not. In those moments, your consciousness experienced a minor fluctuation. You momentarily drifted into a parallel timeline where you never put the keys on that table. As your vibration stabilized and you anchored back into your primary timeline, the object reappeared. These physical glitches are profound reminders that the material world is not solid at all. It is a fluid, holographic projection, highly sensitive to the focus of the observer. The dream state is another arena where the quantum stitch is incredibly active. When you fall asleep, your brain waves slow down, shifting from the dense beta state into alpha, theta, and eventually delta. As this happens, the rigid armor of your logical mind falls away. Your consciousness is no longer restricted by the rules of physics or time. It is free to roam the quantum field. Often, what you perceive as a vivid, chaotic dream is actually your awareness dipping into the lives of your parallel selves. You experience their emotions, their environments, and their relationships. When you wake up and suddenly experience a strange coincidence related to that dream in your waking life, it is because you dragged a piece of that alternate timeline back across the threshold with you. You stitched the dream reality into the waking reality. It is vital to understand that, as you begin to consciously stitch higher realities into your life, the old reality will often put up a fight. This is a crucial concept. The timeline you are leaving behind has a certain momentum to it. It has the heavy inertia of your past beliefs and habits. When you start observing a new, abundant, and joyful reality into existence, the old matrix will try to pull you back. It will throw negative coincidences your way, an unexpected bill, a sudden argument, or a wave of doubt. This is not the universe punishing you. This is simply the echo of the fading timeline collapsing on itself. It is a test of your observation skills. If you give your attention to the negative echo, you reactivate it. If you observe it purely as an illusion passing away, the old reality dissolves, and the quantum stitch holds firm. Now the question arises, how do you consciously create a quantum stitch? How do you stop being a passive victim of random events and start engineering these miracles on demand? The secret lies in a practice I call quantum anchoring. First, you must clearly define the parallel reality you wish to merge with. You cannot give the field mixed signals. You must know exactly what it feels like to have the result you desire. Next, you must remove your attention entirely from the current physical evidence that says you do not have it. Remember, your physical eyes only see the past. They see the timeline that was manifested by your old thoughts. To create a stitch, you must close your physical eyes and open your inner eye, becoming deeply, intimately familiar with the sensory details of the parallel world. The next step in conscious stitching is the art of radical detachment. This is where 99% of people fail. They focus on what they want, they build the emotion, but then they strangle the manifestation with desperation. They constantly check reality to see if it has changed yet. When you look for the absence of your desire, you are actively observing its absence, which collapses a timeline of lack. To finalize a quantum stitch, you must drop the desire completely into the field and walk away. You must enter a state of complete trust, assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is precisely in the moment that you stop caring how or when it will happen that the tension releases, the wave collapses, and the two realities violently merge, bringing you your physical manifestation. As you become more adept at this, you will begin to notice physical sensations accompanying a reality shift. Your body is a highly sensitive biocomputer, and it registers the frequency change when two timelines intersect. You might experience a sudden, high-pitched ringing in one ear. This is not tinnitus. It is an energetic download, your neural pathways adjusting to a higher octave of reality. You might feel sudden, unexplained chills, or a surge of heat traveling up your spine. You might feel a fleeting sense of vertigo or lightheadedness as your consciousness temporarily unmoors from one timeline to attach to another. Do not fear these symptoms, welcome them. They are the physiological proof that you are actively altering the fabric of your universe. One of the greatest barriers to experiencing positive quantum stitches is the trauma stored within the physical body. Past pain, fear, and resentment act as heavy, dense anchors, tying you to lower frequency timelines. Every time you replay a painful memory in your mind, your brain does not know the difference between the past and the present. It produces the exact same chemistry, forcing your energetic signature back into the old vibration. To shift to a parallel reality where you are free, wealthy, and loved, you must completely forgive the past. Forgiveness is not a moral obligation. It is a highly advanced metaphysical technique for cutting the energetic cords to dead timelines. When you clear the emotional density, your frequency naturally rises, and beautiful synchronicities flood into your experience. You must deeply understand the mirror principle of the quantum universe. The world is not happening to you, it is entirely responding to you. It is a giant, infinite mirror reflecting your current state of being back at you. If you walk through life feeling like a victim, the mirror will arrange a series of bizarre coincidences to prove you right. It will stitch timelines where people betray you and machines break down. But when you step into the identity of the conscious creator, when you walk with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they command the elements, the mirror has no choice but to reflect that majesty. The weird coincidences will transform into profound blessings. Doors will open where there were only walls, and the right people will gravitate to you as if pulled by an invisible string. There is a specific phase during a major reality shift known as the void. This happens right after you have unstitched yourself from the old timeline, but before the new timeline has fully materialized. In the void, absolutely nothing seems to be happening. Your life may feel incredibly quiet, almost stagnant. Friends may drift away, and old interests may suddenly feel entirely meaningless. Many people panic in the void, thinking they have done something wrong, and they run back to their old familiar suffering. But the void is a sacred space. It is the blank canvas of the quantum field. It is the incubation period where the universe is rearranging massive amounts of energy to accommodate your new frequency. In this space, you must hold your vision with absolute, unwavering faith. As you navigate out of the void, synchronicity becomes your permanent state of being. It is no longer just a weird coincidence that happens once a month. It becomes the daily rhythm of your existence. You will find that you no longer need to force things to happen through exhausting physical effort. Instead, you merely set an intention, align your emotional state, and watch as the universe delivers the circumstances to your doorstep. You will think of a book, and it will fall off a shelf in front of you. You will need a specific sum of money, and it will arrive through a completely unexpected channel. This is what it means to live in the flow state. This is the ultimate proof that you are no longer a separate entity fighting against the world, but a fluid extension of the source energy itself. Consider this profound truth. You are not a human being having a temporary spiritual experience. You are a vast, infinite quantum consciousness, projecting yourself into a biological avatar to experience the illusion of time and space. The coincidences, the deja vu, the synchronicities, they are the cracks in the walls of this simulation. They are designed by your higher self to wake you up from the dream of powerlessness. Every time you notice a quantum stitch, it is an invitation to step out of the passenger seat and take the wheel of your destiny. Do not brush them off. Celebrate them. Acknowledge them out loud. Tell the universe, I see this. I understand what is happening. Give me more. So the next time something impossible happens, the next time a coincidence leaves you speechless, do not shrug your shoulders and move on. Stop in your tracks. Take a deep breath. Realize that in that exact moment, two massive, parallel universes have just collided, orchestrated entirely by the unseen power of your own mind. You have shifted. You have leaped. You have rewritten the code of your reality. Embrace this power. Cultivate it. The entire cosmos is waiting for you to realize who and what you truly are. You are the architect. You are the observer. You are the origin point of all that is. Listen to me very carefully. You are not existing inside of a reality. You are reality, observing itself into physical form. Every weird coincidence is proof of your absolute sovereignty over the quantum field. The timelines have merged, and you have leveled up. You now know that you are the creator of your experience through the power of focused observation. I want to thank you for joining me in this transmission today. If this message resonated with your soul, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so this frequency can reach others. To lock in this new reality and confirm your shift, I want you to go down to the comments right now and type the words, "I am the observer, creating my reality." Doing this anchors your intention into the physical world. Now tell me, what incredible signs or synchronicities have you noticed in your life lately? Share your story, and I will see you in the next dimension.